watching Let's Chat.
It's so great to have with me in the studio today my good friend and my audiologist, Dr. Tiffany Ahlberg with Ahlberg Audiology and Hearing Aid Services. Thank you so much for coming on, Dr. Ahlberg. Good to see you.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
It's good to see you. So, talking about hearing loss, what are some of the signs and symptoms of hearing loss?
So, the signs are usually very obvious to everyone else and not so much to the person who has the hearing loss often. It is turning the TV up louder than what is comfortable for everyone else. Misunderstanding. You can see people that will nod yes, and I do this sometimes too, whenever that doesn't make any sense because they don't understand. People withdrawing from social activities and conversations because they are misunderstanding what's happening and they don't want to get embarrassed, so they just avoid situations. But you know, it's obvious a lot of times when we're talking to someone when they don't get it, you think that they think that you said one thing when you actually said something else, and they seem confused. So those are some of the things that we most often see.
I think one of the sadder things I've learned from you is the withdrawing part, and that I understand it can almost be a precursor to dementia or some of the older ailments our seniors might suffer from. Maybe it's preventable, at least the early onset of that, if they got their ears checked.
Yeah, there is a component to dementia that includes hearing, and they have shown that that hearing loss is related to increased in dementia. So that is a study that has been shown. But I think a lot of times too, it is the confusion there if someone doesn't get it, and then the other people think that they forgot it. And so I think it's often not all dementia, but thinking that someone heard something and they really didn't, and then you just assume that they forgot it later. So there's a lot of different things happening. But with that, the social aspect, like you said, I mean, when people withdraw socially, they withdraw from communication, then that's another risk factor for dementia.
Well, what's the best way to communicate with someone with hearing loss?
So the best way is to not repeat the same thing over again, but to rephrase it. So, and I know that one of the things that my patients will complain to me about is when a family member talks to them like they're a kid, when they over-exaggerate, when they yell at them, and they almost feel like they should be defensive because someone is screaming at them, and they're like, okay, I just misunderstood one word. You don't have to scream at me. And so, you know, it causes relationship issues a lot of times because of how people treat someone with hearing loss. So I see both sides of it. It is frustrating for the other person too if someone won't do anything about their hearing loss. So there's two sides to every story. But the best way is to take the same comment, rephrase it, and they usually will pick up on the word that they missed.
That's wonderful advice. It speaks to me personally. So talk to me about how we can contact you, get a hold of you, make an appointment.
So we have 2 locations now. We have one in Cleveland and one in Athens. Our Cleveland phone number is 423-641-0956. And our Athens phone number is on our website. I can't remember it.
And I have your website is ahlbergaudiology.com. AHLBERG audiology.com. The information is up there on the screen. Time flies when you come on. Thank you so much for coming on, Dr. Ahlberg.
Thanks for having me.
Good to see you.
You too.